Hi, howdy y'all, I'm Mickey. My channel just passed 400 subscribers this week, which thank y'all so much. And it's got me thinking about this platform and my internet presence in general. If you follow me on other social media platforms, you may have noticed that I changed my username on pretty much everything except Tumblr and here for the time being. And there are reasons behind that. I feel like the way I just worded that last sentence makes this kind of sound like an apology video, or like there's a problematic origin or something. There's not. The username IzzyGS started as my pen name on fanfiction.net back in 2012 when I was writing Phineas and Ferb fanfiction. I really liked the sound of it as a pseudonym for the time being, and I thought that a shortened version of Isabella Garcia Shapiro worked well with what I was writing. As I moved to Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter and whatever, I kept the username because even though it did originate in a fandom and it was a reference to a character's name, if you didn't have that knowledge prior to seeing it, the chances that you were going to make that connection in your mind were very small, and I thought that it worked to just keep it up even as my interests changed. When I started YouTube, 5 or 6 years after adopting this as my username and building my entire online presence around this username, it made sense to continue using it here. A decision that I promptly regretted. I don't dislike the username, but I do dislike being called Izzy, and I'm not a fan of the fact that the username is read as predominantly feminine, and I feel like that may influence perhaps how people perceive me. I've been thinking about other YouTubers who use usernames that aren't their names, because that's pretty common on this platform, but all of the ones that I know of are called nicknames based on their usernames. PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber and was called Pewdie or Pewds for a long time, even though his name is Felix. Pixie Locks introduces herself as Pixie at the beginning of videos. Her name is Jill. How many people know that Jacksepticeye's name is not Jack, it's Sean? And as I said before, I don't want to be called Izzy or any variation of it, really. I've been thinking about changing my username on here for so long, like months, but I've been hesitant to because I have my whole intro and outro and channel art and everything connected to this specific username, and somebody who subscribed to my channel made an HD version of my intro, if you noticed that changed like a month or so ago, and I felt really bad turning around and immediately changing my username after that, even though it was something I had in my head prior to that. I still feel kind of bad about it, but surpassing 400 subscribers on here and approaching 1,000 followers on TikTok, as I have more people seeing my stuff, I want my name attached to it and not a Phineas and Ferb character that's gonna become my brand until it's too late to break away from it. But I couldn't think of what I wanted my name on here to be. On other platforms, it's mixturemouse, a username that I came up with. Mouse is a reference to my first name being Mickey, and mixture is an alternative pronunciation of the gender-neutral honorific mix. The username's fun and I like it on other platforms, but I wanted to use my name on YouTube, but I was unclear how. I briefly thought first and last and then decided no, because one, I'm not sure that I want to be broadcasting my last name out. I'm not hiding it, but also not trying to broadcast it. Also, my last name is connected to someone else who has it that's rather popular, and I felt like I would kind of just get maybe buried. So then first and middle name, except I never settled on a middle name when I changed my name. I wanted to keep my initials the same, and my middle name started with C, but I couldn't think of a neutral C name that I connected to. And then I realized I don't really have to use a name per se. I mean, there's a whole meme about non-binary people just using nouns as names. And one of the people that I follow on multiple platforms has the middle name Laser with a Z. I can honestly do whatever I want with my name. And along with what I mentioned in a previous video regarding cutting my own hair, I've kind of stopped caring how other people think of me. To an extent, you know? I care about criticism and I want to be a good, decent person. I don't care so much about people thinking that I'm weird. And I thought, what C word could I connect to myself? Fits me and I wouldn't mind being used in relation to me. And my brain went, okay, what am I? I'm a goblin of a person with Murphy's Law. Everything's just absolute chaos. And so yeah, that's where I lie with that now. Mickey Chaos. Whether or not I stick with that as my actual middle name, I do like it here as my platform name. And I love the idea of being able to say Chaos is my middle name, literally. So all of this stuff here will change. Probably pretty rapidly. I already have channel art done, and by the time this goes up, probably a new outro. I don't have a new intro yet, but that's just something I'll have to work on. So yeah, not a huge dramatic change, I guess, in content or whatever, but a rebranding of myself as I do kind of gain my legs on here and the internet and whatnot. You know, it happens. As times change, so do we, and so do our usernames sometimes. I don't know if this is going to stick for longer than my past username did. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as my middle name. I don't know how I'm going to want to be referred to in the future. We can't know until we get there. For now, this is it. Ciao. Cue the new outro.